Good evening and Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to the woods. I am Sasquatch, otherwise known as Gavisas, from YouTube and Capcom Community. I want to thank you all for coming by today and watching my HR 300 Urgent. I would say helping, but you're not. That honor goes specifically to the illustrious Ghost, now of the Well Done podcast. He just kind of happened to be there, and thank God he was because I think he saved us all. Uh, Us all would also include the amazing and legendary, the trollish legend, Judge Magister. Thank you, Judge. You are amazing, each and every way, and especially in the Skype call. You're amazing. And of course, as he has most recently described me, the typical Stoic deviant. We just kind of expect him. It's going to happen. Everyone get used to it. Um, as you can see, I am doing what I should not. I am hammering an Elatrion. In fact, a super Elatrion. Let's make that distinction. This is a super Elatrion. Because I thought it'd be fun. And this is actually the fifth attempt because the other four ended horribly. And the only reason we got this one done was because we changed the parameters because I am not very good. In fact, I'm very bad at this game. My first thought was, hey, let's get four Sword and Shields together. We'll get the Ludroth Claw, whatever it is, for water. And we'll put the person using that in Ludroth armor. And then we'll get the respective Ice, Fire, and Thunder Sword and Shields for all the other nice folks. Unfortunately, I ended up with the Ludroth armor. And before this, I did not have any Ludroth armor. So when it came time to actually, how do I put this, do the quest, yeah, I had the chest, the arms, and the waist. And I was wearing chakra for the head and the legs, and had constitution and speed sharpening and current resistance, which does nothing. So yeah, that was fun for about a minute or two. I triple carded twice and then double carded the other two with some other folks picking up the slack on those extra cards for the first four attempts. Thank God we changed the parameters, kind of. Well, it made me finally make Elatrion armor, so I suppose that's a good thing. Maybe. Just for completionist standards, I suppose it's a good thing. Um, but I had a lot of fun. We took us a bit of a little while because this was obviously not the most brilliant thing to do. So what we did is we got the Elatrion armor, and everyone had to use awakened weapons. And as I was reaching for my Tenebra, I realized Ghost and Judge had already claimed that, and I did not wanting to be too cliche in following after them. I decided, let's grab that Iron Impact. And Stoic, liking the symmetry of it, decided to grab one himself, and thank God he did. Otherwise, we would not have knocked out Elatrion at all. Because, as I mentioned before, if I'm hammering Elatrion, just know something horribly, horribly, horribly wrong has happened here. There's a tragedy, a catastrophe. There are probably children screaming for mommy because it's just a bad thing. Don't let this happen. I have had people try to teach me how to do it before, and they all agreed I should just give up and go back to my bowgun, which I did in the next quest after this. But for this one, it seemed appropriate to try and at least have the symmetry of everyone using awakened weapons, and so here I am making a fool of myself. Not to try and just do the complete commentary, I suppose. I suppose what you call it, of this entire video on how bad I am at hammering, although I could give you a very lengthy discourse on that subject. I kind of want to give you a little bit of a year in review, kind of my life in Tri, or at least my life online in Tri. For those of you who were around back then, I started in Capcom Unity in December of 2011, which, oh, that looked like it hurt. why did I do that? In late December of 2011 as an HR1 online noob. I had gone through all the offline campaign before, but I was really hesitant to go online because I'm kind of a shy person. Don't Sometimes I don't exactly get along with everyone. Um, but I was a couple months before I had come across this thing called the Well Done podcast with uh, Moises L and Conti and Kendall and all them, and I was watching that, and chances would have it that the amazing Seraphy was on one of these, and apologies to Seraphy if she watches this. It was kind of you who convinced me that, yeah, maybe I should go online and start hanging out with all these weird Capcom Unity people. Not because of anything you said during the podcast, but in so much that I realized it really didn't matter that you didn't have to be of X or Gale standards to fit in on online. I think that's a nice way to say it. Again, apologies. Uh, you're an incredibly nice person. I'm really glad to see that you're now hosting the Well Done podcast. Just please don't get mad at me for this. I've already made that mistake. I hope I don't actually tick you off this time. It's a compliment though. See, it says you're a nice person, and so is everyone else, or something like that. Anyway, before I dig that hole any deeper, let's move on. Like I said, I don't really want to do this as kind of like well, I met this person on this day and we fought this monster, and it's just a couple highlights, like my first Elatrion with boost and echo, HR46. He said, "Hey, look at that! That's what you meet the quest requirements. Why don't you go grab your I don't even think it was upgraded, so it would be the Tusk Lance Plus and your not yet fully upgraded Crew Peiko armor. And let's go meet this fun little horsey monster called the Elatrion." And I'm like, okay. I'm still going through therapy. As you can see, apparently it still has me freaked out because I'm hammering it on my Urgent. Badly hammering it on my Urgent. I think I got off 1 Turnipound this whole time. It's not even here yet. It's just embarrassing. But truth in advertising, I won't ever hide any sort of bad, horrible, unflattering gameplay footage from any of you. You get it in the raw. This is Sasquatch hunting. Yeah. Anyway, moving right along. A couple weeks after I met them, I met this rather interesting fellow named Cody, who kind of impressed me because he's a 999. I was like, oh, it's a 999. He's actually in my room and he's playing with me, and I don't know. When you see someone in that number and you're only like an HR, like at that time it was like 54 or whatever, it's kind of intimidating to have them come in. It's like, hey, mind if I play with you? No, sir. Would you like me to give you all my honey now? Type of thing. It's totally unfounded on anything. Totally just random human misconceptions. Where it's like, okay, if he's in here, he wants to troll me or he wants to do this, and thankfully, he wasn't like that at all. Just really, really fun guy. And in fact, the only 999 I've ever met who has the uncanny ability to triple cart every third quest I played with him. Pretty much. Some of those may have been my fault. Maybe most of those. Probably all of them. Can't help it. I try. He's too easy an upswing target. He just has this big red and white circle painted on his chest, and it's too easy. I'm sadistic like this. I don't know why. I was just made this way. I find it funny. I find it hilarious to send him flying over a monster and then get eaten by Devil Joe. It just happens. It's like an addiction. I can't control it. That's why I stopped greatsorting. Well, I didn't stop, but I don't do it around him anymore. It's the only way I can control it. I'm sorry, Cody. Don't be mad at me. Um, yeah. Actually, you know what? If I was actually sorry about doing that, I would not have done it in the first place. But it's so fun. Upswings, of course, brings me to Judge, who I've just recently started playing with regularly, and thank goodness, because he is like the most hilarious person to get on. Well, second most hilarious person to get on Skype. Um, the trolls are awesome. I even laugh sometimes when I'm on the brunt of them. Like the naked Jaggy run that turned into the naked Elatrion run that nobody was prepared for. Thank you, Judge. Okay, so we're it's a Jaggy. We're like, okay, let's just do it naked for the heck of it. Okay, Judge runs up. I'll post. Great. We're HR, who knows whatever it is. We don't even read the quests anymore. We don't even read them when we post them. It's like, okay, that's the picture of the monster. That's what we're gonna do. Just sign up, not thinking. Show up, naked. Actually, naked with, not quite naked. But I digress. Naked enough. Show up, and there's a Latron, and I'm standing there with my fire longsword, and I'm like, "Where's the Jaggy? I lost it. Someone bring it back. Help! Help! I'm dying." And the screams from Ivy lead me to the funniest person on the Skype calls. Oh, how we love you. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Every time you get on, whether you're drunk or not, you usually get drunk. You say you're not, but we know you are. And then the rage. Don't steal my tail. Everyone get away from it. No, it's the only thing I'm good at. It's the only thing I can actually do. Leave me alone. You're all so mean. I hate you guys. I'm never going to play with you again. Will we see you tomorrow night? Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm sadistic, masochistic, and well, not masochistic. That's the wrong word. Sadistic, sociopathic. That's the word. That's a good qualifier for it. Oh, it's so much fun to Skype with you, Ivy. I really hope you watch this all the way to this part. I realize at this point I probably lost more than half my audience just because of the length of it, and I apologize to the rest of you. It's going to go for a little bit longer yet. Hopefully I can come up with a couple more mildly amusing stories to keep your interest. Like perhaps the Invincible Giganox Rage I had several months ago, back in February. I was just starting to get into bow gunning, and for whatever reason, it seemed to me a good idea to grind some Giganox. I didn't know why, it just seemed like a good idea. Starting into bow guns, why not bring one of those along with me? Oh, Teabag Stoic, Teabag Stoic. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, Carp. I forgot about that. That makes me sad. I wanted to see him die. Teabag, Earl Grey, English breakfast. Whatever your favorite tea is. Anyway, it seemed a good idea to bring a bowgun along on this Giganox quest. There's a low rank one. I'm like, well, I can have fun. I'll bring some pellets along because I'm going to be soloing this. And so I brought the archetypical cluster gun. The Rattling plus stock, Rattling plus barrel, and Ignactor stock. And yeah, ran through all my pellets, ran through all my flame shots. This thing was still alive. I'm like, okay, well, I can load more normal 1 than I can normal 2. Let's try it out. And so I just started blasting away with normal 1, and blasting away with normal 1, and blasting away with normal 1 for, what was it, 40 some minutes trying to get this thing to die. And it never died. It was cap ready for like a half an hour, but it never died. Just shooting it with normal 1, shooting it with normal 1, shooting it with normal 1, shooting it with normal 1. I'm like, I hate this stupid thing. I just want it to die. Cursing everyone who ever thought of the name Giganox, whoever it was that created this abominable monster. And finally, like, okay, I have 30 seconds left of the quest. I have to do something to kill this thing. and I loaded up my last my single shot of normal 2. For those of you who use that gun, know that you can only load one shot of normal 2 at a time. You bring it up, fire one shot, and it dies. And immediately, I raged so hard. I threw my controller down. Did not throw it far, but I threw it down. I wanted to use it the next day. Planning ahead. Even though at the time I didn't want to hear anything about Monster Hunter. Rage quit on the spot. Came back like 3 hours later. And, yeah. Fun times on Monster Hunter. That's why I don't solo anything anymore. I apparently have no gift for it. I soloed a couple. Well, I've made a couple attempts at soloing Elytrion. Have not had any success with that. I've soloed several Devil Joe. That's just kind of par for the course, I think. Some and just about everything else, but not my favorite thing to do. I suppose it's more. Monster Hunter is more of a social game. This is getting off on a tangent, and I've been on one since I started this thing, so get over it. Monster Hunter is more of a social game. I get where people are like, okay, well, I want to prove that or prove to myself, or prove to this person or that person, whatever, that I can do this. It's like, well, if it's possible, I want to try it, type thing. And I understand that that can be fun for people who are always trying to like better themselves and push themselves harder than they ever have before. But personally, for me, Monster Hunter and really even games in general have become kind of a social experiment, not a experience. Because how do you experiment with people? Well, there are a lot of possibilities there, but I try not to experiment too much on my friends. And that's really what Monster Hunter has really come down to be, where it's really just a social experience, trying to meet and make new friends, and that's why I really like the co-op thing with this, as opposed to the versus mentality, me versus this guy, and all these guys are better than me, and I might be better than them type thing of like the first-person shooter world or MMOs or whatever else like that, because in the end, it doesn't really matter. It's a video game. It doesn't matter if I'm better than you. It doesn't matter if you're better than me. It's just it's something to do for fun. And for me, it's a lot more fun to do it with more people. That's why I convinced 4 people to do this with me, and I don't think they hate me for it. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. In fact, they would probably hate me more if I had kept up with the sword and shield thing, because that was going to take forever and a day to actually complete. But yeah, it's just kind of it's a fun thing for me, not necessarily something that I have to like. I have to be better than everyone. I must get the fastest time on every monster by myself and destroy all things. And like I said, there's no judgment to anyone who does. No negative connotations, nothing else to the people who do. I mean, Gale and X. Oh my word, you guys are just awesome. I mean, I watch your videos. You guys, it's not like hero worship or anything, but it's like it's impressive to me that you guys can actually go out and solo something and solo an Elytrion in 10 minutes by yourself. I know I couldn't do it, as is quite obvious with my lackadaisical hammer skills that are not even worth mentioning. Period. But yeah, like I said, it's more of a social thing, and that's really what Monster Hunter, gaming, and especially being involved now with Capcom. Well, having been involved now with Capcom Unity for so long, it really is the social aspect that really keeps drawing me back to the game, to the community, to just gaming in general. As I mentioned on a previous video, and most of you still probably know, because I haven't exactly grown my channel very big, and most of the people here are people that I hunt with regularly on Monster Hunter. To the 2 or 3 of you who are actually still watching this, wow, this is a long hunt. What was I saying? Totally forgot. That's okay. Something about friends. Oh well. They're important. Don't forget that. Uh, but yeah, just kind of want to say thanks to everyone, especially the regulars, uh, Judge and Ivy on the Skype call. Stoic, I don't even know how to describe what is going on with Stoic. Ivy says we're gay lovers. That's just completely off the wall. She is drunk and needs to go home and stop drinking. Actually, don't stop drinking. Those videos that you've allowed me to post on my channel are gold. Please keep drinking. Um, I know that's a really weird thing for a preacher to say, but it's hilarious to hear you try and articulate yourself. Um, uh, yeah, but like I said, just kind of want to give a little thanks to Stoic. In the was known since March, so in the 9 months since I've met him online, um, he has been like the best and closest friend I have had, pretty much online or otherwise through that whole thing. Well, aside from the lady friend, but that's another story. Um, yeah, he's 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 just he's always there, like you said. It's the typical hunt. Uh, when stuff when it's like, hey, I'm bored. Want to go hunt monsters or play this game or play that game? Sure. Grab your grab Skype and we'll do this thing. Um, he's also the one who helped me get my Wii U, and he's amazing, and I still owe him money for that. Um, which is another thing that's kind of weird. But that's, like I said, it gets to the point for me where it becomes a lot, especially probably just because of the limited access I have to people right now. It's become a lot more than just playing a game or just talking on Skype or doing whatever it is that we've been doing. As far as friendship, it has really become a very uh, something that maybe I'm reading too much into it or not, but I think it's something that if Monster Hunter were or like gaming in general were to suddenly depart from the picture, it would still be a friendship that would last beyond what it is currently. Um, and hopefully that sorry, I knocked over a microphone. Hopefully that didn't mess up anyone too badly. And I know this is kind of just like a rambling, ranty type. Well, not a rant, but just like a rambling. Well, like I said, it's the year in review. Long year. Some longer for some than for others. Because I slept through most of it, but I suppose the thing that I'm trying to convey with all this is just kind of like a very grateful, thankful type of feeling or attitude, um, following everything that has gone on just this past year. Um, like like seriously, I don't know what on earth I would have done with myself the last 12 months without y'all. Uh, you all have been really, really good friends. Vareed, I know you may be watching this still, because you asked for commentaries, and you better watch this because you're the one that asked for them. Um, but like I said, you've all just kind of welcomed me, I suppose. Not trying to get too sappy or touchy feely type thing, but it's really nice to know that when it seems kind of like your regular life has passed you by and everyone else has kind of just disappeared, or not disappeared, but they're on hold, that there are still there are still other avenues and options and availabilities to still converse and have friendships with other people. So I kind of want to thank you all for that, and for letting me be a part of your little community. So yeah, that's kind of my year in review. I hope you all enjoyed my little thing. I hope to see you next time. If you actually watched it all the way through, like it, comment, say whatever, say your piece. Thank you all. God bless, Happy New Year, and goodbye.